But let's get into
I
it.
say we get into it, dude. Let's give her a go.
It's not bad.
With our glasses in our hands, the hops and barley bloom in a land of craft and cans. Every sip a story shared, review and taste we dare with our Sunday sips. Sunday sips, every for a trip.
Welcome back, everyone, to a new episode of the Sunday Sips podcast on the Tales, Ales, and Trails channel.
Fwam, fwam, fwam.
I'm your host, Kyle Lucas. That's your other host,
Nick Woodard.
Nick J. Woodard in the flesh. We're back with another edition, a local edition.
Local edition.
From our
Always
hometown.
love that. Yeah.
One of our favorite breweries.
Yeah.
Honestly, we like to get out there whenever we can. It's on the opposite side of town. We've done... What have we done?
We've done
We did the Lunar.
multiple. We did Lunar Decadence. I believe. Yeah, maybe we just did Lunar
I
Decadence.
think we just did the Lunar.
Yeah. Feels like we've done more because, we go there so much. We drink so much of their beers.
really
but
do. Yeah.
Maybe it's just been Lunar Deck, which is not a bad way to go.
Yeah.
So I think for anyone local watching, they already know what the brewery is, but I'll let you do the big reveal.
So honestly, it goes by the wayside because we go there every now and then.
Sure.
And I really enjoy the times we go there.
Of course.
And a lot of the times it's like we're in, have a beer,
Right.
we're out,
Right.
just because, and honestly because of the vibe, like the ambiance around. It's super cool. If you're gonna have one and done, it's a great spot to go.
Yeah.
If you haven't guessed, Secret Trail Brewing, probably, what is it? Was it the second one to come out? Was it before Farmers?
Yes, it was before Farmers. In terms of breweries that established themselves after Sierra Nevada in Chico, Farmers was a Princeton brewery at first, and then they opened the Chico restaurant. So they're semi-local, but Secret Trail was there before them. They were making a name for themselves as kind of the spot to go to if you didn't want to go to Sierra Nevada, but you still wanted a cool craft beer.
Yeah. We've been through the background of the brewery before with the Lunar Decadence video.
Sure.
We're not going to hound you back on that. But this is a different kind of beer.
Very different kind of beer.
Very different kind of beer than the Lunar. I would say it's not going to be my favorite.
Yeah,
but
you can't come in with that kind of
We're-
energy. You don't know.
No. But I just said it's not going to be my favorite.
Sure.
But we're gonna drink it
Open
nonetheless,
mind. Yeah.
and open mind, find out. They have a ton of great beers, real good flagship beers. Their Green Gate is one of my favorites.
Yep.
Their what's their hazy? The Bout About It
Bad about it.
is also one of my
As
favorites.
well as the pineapple Bad about it.
Oh, super good. Super cool space. Go check it out. They do live shows. They have food trucks
Yep.
every day basically.
I think every day they got a
Yeah.
schedule. Yeah.
different food trucks. Amazing patio.
Yeah.
Fantastic patio just to sit at and chill. Right around the corner from Commons.
Yep.
Super iconic spot, I would say.
Yeah. No, it's grown into something that everyone in town is familiar with. Everyone
Yeah.
in town enjoys going to. It was, I think, when it first kind of came about, it was in a part of town that wasn't frequented very much.
Sure.
I think Lovely Layers Bakery was over there,
Mm-hmm.
but there wasn't much else. And now they've really kind of helped that space flourish a little bit. I mean, when you talk about the Commons coming there, when you talk about Golden Beaver Distillery setting up shop with a, I wanted to say tap room, but that's not right. With a, whatever the equivalent for a distillery is.
The bar area.
Yeah. A place to drink their
Place to
spirits. But they were kind of pioneers in that area, which was really just not a super hot spot in town, but now it's pretty well frequented most weekends that we go there. So
Sure. So without further ado, we got the triple berry bomb.
Berry bomb.
Sour. Kettle sour.
Kettle sour.
Kettle
It's going to
sour.
be a big deal for you because, sours are not your bread and butter. And
Not my
that's-
forte.
That's an understatement of a lifetime.
Yeah. So on the can, I mean, obviously the can's really colorful. It's got all the berries on there. Really good, bomb aesthetic. With the Secret Trail crest right on the front. 6% ABV, not too bad, not too shabby. Right in the sweet spot. Not too light, not too heavy.
Yeah.
So on the can it says, with its beautiful red color and light pink head, this delightful kettle sour is not only visually stunning, but it's also a tart flavor bomb to your palate. We brewed it with blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Lactose and vanilla were added to enhance the intense berry goodness. Bam, boom, bomb.
Nice.
I've definitely had this before, and it's not on my list of like, I'm not going to drink that sour again.
Sure,
You know
sure.
what I mean? But I kind of remember it being very tart.
I think
So-
it's going to be pretty tart. I
We're-
think we pop this top and see just how tart it is.
We're going to find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh. Automatically super vibrant, dude.
Yeah.
Let's bring that there. Super rich color. Super rich, like reddish, like maroony color. Just very berry.
Yeah.
Very berry through and through. It smells tart.
Yep.
Obviously with like sours and everything, with like ABV for like beers, I can kind of smell it and get a hint
Sure.
of what's
Right. Right.
happening, unless like last week's was like that very like hop centric, which kind of tricks your
From
your
Block
nose.
15, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, hinting that it might be like a higher ABV than normal.
Right.
Sours just kind of throw me off because you can't really pin it down by smell
Right.
what the ABV is gonna consist of.
Yeah.
I guess. But let's get into
I say
it.
we get into it, dude. Let's give her a go.
It's not bad.
Not as bad as you were thinking.
It's really, dude. I think I was scaring myself. It's very tart, and
Oh, yeah.
as I'm talking, it gets more tart once you swallow it. But it's very obvious they added that lactose and like vanilla in there. It gives like a hint of creaminess.
It balances it out really nicely.
It really does. So as I've discovered, I used to just be so just against sours, like all the time. Now that I've, started to play around and get, warmed up to them, milkshake sours,
Yep.
like milkshake type sour-ish beers, I grow more accustomed to because they have that sweeter, creamier like taste, right?
Right.
This is it's not fully in that realm, but it's hinting at it with that vanilla for sure. I get that flavor. It's not bad, dude.
Talking about that, I mean, it's so interesting to me, like how we see this pretty often, that these new categories of beers come out, and sour is not new, but there was a time when it was a very new thing,
Sure.
and you get a bunch of different branches from that. Like, I think about the hazy. Like, the hazy was a thing, and then so many people branched off of hazy. Now there's session hazies, there's double hazy IPAs. There's so many different variations of what a hazy can be.
Tropical haze.
And it 100%. And the sour really is that same kind of thing to me, because you can have your standard sour, you can have a kettle sour, you can move into a milkshake sour. Which becomes a really thick beast that you're like, maybe one of these will do.
Yeah, it's very cloudy,
Flavorful
like
for
heavy.
sure, but just a lot in a beer. It's always interesting to me when something comes out, people gravitate towards it in the craft beer community, and then breweries go, okay, how can we innovate? How can we take this concept and put a spin on it to try something new, to bring some new flavors out, some new
variants,
elements, variants to what is a popular thing. So
yeah, how to like reinvent the wheel.
I think we're seeing that with Pilsners right now.
Sure.
I think I've seen a lot of different Pilsners popping up, and I think that is kind of a trend towards, people not only just wanting to drink less, but after many years of being captivated by hazies and double IPAs and
bombarded with ABV.
With higher ABV vehicles. People are like, I just want something a little lighter, something that's gonna, cleanse the palate and just be something nice and refreshing to sip on. I think that's
without going towards the seltzer game,
right,
which blew up.
Right. I think that's why we're seeing something like Sierra Nevada, or North Star, as we say many times.
That Pils, dude.
Breaking out with the Pils, which is just a very drinkable Pilsner, which they're known for being super hoppy kind of all the time. And they're like, we're going to do a Pilsner because we think that's going to be really appealing to what people want right now. So
it's kind of my go-to beer.
It's very good beer.
After a long day of work. It's, not high ABV. This is, 6%. It's right in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
I like it. This is not a sour that I hate. Surprisingly, I thought this was going to be...
not a sour that I hate?
I thought it was going to fall in the scoring for me, and I would have to just defend myself.
Sure.
But we'll see when I score it. It's still not something that me personally, I'm automatically going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take that sour.
Sure.
Take that kettle sour. Just because I automatically won't ever take a sour,
right,
over anything else.
Right.
But I definitely don't mind it. It definitely has that very strong berry taste behind the tartness, which I really like, and that vanilla really shines through.
Yeah.
That vanilla and lactose gives it that creaminess that makes the tart worth it for me.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree. And I think just to add on to the kind of the point we were talking about before about, breweries trying to innovate, trying to do new things. We've been seeing some really cool collaborations in the community. I don't know if you saw this, but Ramble West is doing a collaboration beer with Fall River.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. Ramble West also came out with a habanero beer that we need to try.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really cool. But Secret Trail and Paradise Brewworks are doing some very cool collaborations right now. I think Secret Trail is carrying a bunch of Paradise Brewworks beers at the moment. And I mean, for a brand new brewery, Paradise Brewworks is just going for
Killing it.
Talking about Ridge cookies, talking about Dingstrata. I've kind of got some inside information about some new stuff that's coming out that is going to blow people's minds.
Did we try that New England?
So the Lux, I've heard that the Lux is selling incredibly well right now. The New England,
we got to try that before it released, and it was
delicious.
So good, dude.
So we're in a very good spot. Talking about, it's a pretty big undertaking for a smaller brewery to really try and do something exceptional and out there and different. And I think that's when Triple Berry Bomb first came out for Secret Trail, that was what this was. And people come to love this beer now. I mean, my wife loves this. She loves this and the Happy Wife Seltzer, go figure. But when this first came out, I was like, man, we got to try that. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like, who would think to put these kinds of flavors into a beer?
Yeah.
And it turns out it was pretty darn good for a sour.
I would say if you are, and I'm just going to play the part of being an avid sour, enjoyer, right? Dude, this would be perfect summer day, hot day. It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Super refreshing, especially if you've had, like last week we had, what was a 9%, 8%? 8%, yeah. 8%, like a heavier beer to kick off your buzz or whatever. This is a 6%. You can relax, chill. If you're just not in the mood for that very hoppy, flavor, It's a good switch up, and you're still drinking an alcoholic beverage. Still takes the edge off. It's just a different flavor.
It's a complete departure from what a normal beer tastes like.
Yeah. If you're not feeling the strong bitterness of anything, and you don't want to go towards like a heavier like Guinness or stouty area,
Sure.
go for one of these.
Yeah,
this is great.
Something fruity, something tart. Nothing wrong with it.
Very refreshing, especially if you want to stay out of those. It's all been done before all those seltzers and everything like that, like the White Claws and the Trulies. They were very big. They're still very big.
Right.
But if you're looking for a little more flavor, in something without approaching that very bitter flavor profile, this is great.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
There's also a point where it's like you've had 9 million IPAs, you've had 7,000 hazies.
Yeah.
Can you really tell the difference between all of them, or do they just taste? They all taste the same level of good.
Right.
Which, look, there's certain hazies that I will put above every other hazy, but
sure.
There's also a ton of hazies that I've had from random breweries that are like, all right, this tastes like a generic hazy. So when you want something that's going to be a totally different taste from any other regular beer, you lean towards something like a sour.
Yeah.
Because it is a complete departure from your regular beer.
And like I said, if you're like me and you're not really into the super tart taste, I'm telling you right now, it's very drinkable for me, actually.
Okay.
I was telling it before we started the camera, I was like, ooh, this might get a very low score from your old boy. But it's not gonna be high, but for me. But if you're going into that realm, start off with like a sweeter beer, like a milkshake sour or something like that, and then gradually go into these, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. I promise you.
Dig into something that's a little more tart.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's score it.
I think we score it. I think you go first. I went first last week, so. And I'm very curious to see where you land.
I've been thinking about it the whole way, and this is going up for me. It's at a flat 5.
Oh,
flat 5.
Okay.
For me. I
still think that's low.
Of course it is. But think about me and my inclination towards sours. 5 is our neutral.
Sure.
Very okay.
Sure.
This, I'm not searching for it. I'm really not going to ask for it, period. But if it's there and we're still hanging out, whatever. Right. I like it. It's neutral. There are definitely sours where I'm like, give me this over that, for sure.
How mad would you be if this was the only thing we had in the cooler and we were floating for 2 hours?
Not mad.
Okay.
So no. That's a great. That's a great situation to put me in. If we've been drinking, and we're camping for a couple days, and this is the only thing we have left, the last day, the last night or whatever, and we're out on the water, not mad.
Okay.
I don't hate my life.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I'm actually kind of a little, all right. You know what? I'll give it a 5.25. You've convinced me.
All right, sure.
I want to just notch it.
Yeah.
Just notch it
one
over.
notch up.
Yeah, off the fence. A little bit into the good realm.
I was really hoping for a 6 from you.
No, it's still a sour.
But I think even for a sour, it can be on that.
You take what you get from me, right?
I'm gonna go 6.75.
That's good.
And I think that's a pretty fair score. I like this sour a lot, and it's not my favorite sour. I've had better sours. We'll review those sours on the podcast. It is pretty tart, so you have to be into a tart drink to really appreciate it. But like we said, it balances super well.
Yeah.
It is pretty drinkable. I think it is just shy of a 7 for me, and I think that's when I look at this beer, when I drink this beer, I'm like, it's a good beer. It's not something I'm going to pick out of a lineup every single time.
Sure.
But if you are someone who enjoys a sour, if you're my wife, if you're, someone who doesn't really subscribe to the traditional beer taste, then I think this is a really good option.
Right.
So sitting at a 6.75, I'm trying my best to be a little bit more critical. That's why I hesitated at the start, because I was going to give it a 7. I was like, I don't think it's quite at a 7.
Sure. I'm going to defend myself just a tad
Please.
more. Usually a sour is going to fall, what my mindset before we started looking at this and reading about it, it was going to fall between a 3 and a 4 for me.
Wow.
Just because of how tart they really advertise it to be. No, just because of how they push it to be.
No, it's for
and
sure.
knowing my tongue, like, but it's honestly a 5.25 for me. Thinking about it that way, I'm giving it the props.
Yeah.
It is that
right.
vanilla really pushes out.
Sure.
Really pushes out. If you've watched through the video, we did another sour, I don't know, in the teens or the 20s.
Right.
One of our episodes, and it was kind of rough to go through. If you watch me through this episode, it's very drinkable. I'm not making a face every time.
Right.
And the initial one really shocked me, but through it, I've been sipping it
Yeah.
okay.
No.
So, like you said, if we're down to our last few beers and this is one, hell yeah, give me it.
Yep.
I'm not mad.
Agreed.
I'm actually, just tad excited that it's not one of the
Right.
bad sours that I
Right.
don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's fair.
Yeah. I think
That's
good scores all around.
Yeah, go pick up this. This is their flagship sour, right?
This is 100% their flagship
Yeah.
sour in terms of sours and stuff. This is the best, obviously the best one they make.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious. Yeah, go grab it while you can. It's not a year-round thing.
Mm.
I believe it's a springtime thing.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong on that, but yeah, go check it out while you can. Go check out their space. Like we said, it's a really cool space.
Really fun
Always
space.
got a food truck. Often have live music. It's just a fun time down there at Secret Trail.
They got karaoke. They got quiz. What is it like? Trivia nights.
Trivia nights. Yep.
and
Yep.
everything, so. Cheers, bud.
Cheers, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's not bad. Yeah, leave us a comment, leave us a like, hit that bell, get notifications where you can. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, find us there, Tales, Ales, and Trails. It's the Sunday Sips podcast variation or drop down of the Tales, Ales, and Trails channel. You'll find a bunch of different videos there too that you want to peruse and find what you like. And anything else to add? I think we're good.
I just, thanks again. Cheers, Chico, for hosting us. We're excited for what's to come. I don't think we, at this point, have revealed the big story, the big deal that we've got coming out.
Big things to come.
Big things to come.
Big things to
very,
come.
very big things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't stress that enough. I think
Yeah.
I talked about it a few weeks back when we reviewed Bees Better Have My Honey by Born Territory. But we're sitting on something pretty fantastic.
It'll when this comes out, it'll be very soon.
It'll be ready to rock.
Ready to rock.
So, we're excited for what's to come. A lot of good things in the future.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, you crack one for us, we'll crack one for you.
Cheers.
Take care.
Citrus to dark
Really
night,
wasn't bad.
we
really kinda liked
unravel
it.
flavors lore. Mosaic dreams take flight of IPAs and we adore. Raise a toast to what's new here in the world of craft beer with Sunday Sips. Sunday Sips. Every pour a trip with our Sunday Sips. Each note we hear as we sip and cheer. Craft beer's near. Sunday's treasures clear with our Sunday Sips. Sunday Sips. Every pour a trip with a Sunday